here all the time. It doesn't matter where it's at in your chart. If you would like to watch my All Signs channel, it's at Get Feathered. The links are in the description for all my channels. Just click the word more next to the title under this video, and you will see a drop down list of all sorts of cool stuff that I do. The only way that you can get a reading with me is to schedule it through my website. So I hope you're all doing well. Let's have some fun, Libras. I have missed you. I do. I love going live from a Libras. I don't know why. I just do. Just do. Is what it is. Finalizing some setup here for the live. Give me just a second or two. And we're going to talk about love. We're going to find out what's really going on. Just remember, it's Feather. I'm Feather. You never know what you're going to get here. So, my messages tend to be heavy if you're new here and you don't know. And there's always this really cool X up at the top corner somewhere up here where you can exit it out if it gets too heavy, because you have that freedom and that choice. Okay, so don't be leaving me any negative, nasty comments. If you want to watch it, watch it. If it resonates, cool. Like it, share it, subscribe it, and all of that fun stuff. And join our community. I now have a membership tier for you. The Loyal Libras Club. That's right, the Loyal Libras Club. So let's do this. If you're here, you could be dealing with an Aquarius, strong Aquarius, my gosh, Capricorn, Sagittarius. You're ready to rock and roll. Thanks for listening to the podcast out there, everybody. What's up? Dropping into the reading screen, shall we? And let's talk about it. Let's start pulling cards. What am I seeing? Flatline. I hope you did not lose a loved one. November birthday. Some of you may be 40, 41 years old. Some of you 50, 52, 53. 50 to 52. Some of you are 40 or 41, something like that, or they are. And I got a November birthday. I'm pulling out all kinds of stuff. So let's do some cards. Let's pull some cards. Okay. Oh, there's the heartbreak. Okay, so there's the heartbreak. Let's hope that man, some of you are just numb. Well, I just got that off of this card, and I don't know if I've ever gotten that. Some of you, you're just numb in the heart space. Maybe you've been hurt so many times that it's just numb. Some of you, you're not crying anymore. That's kind of behind you, but it's kind of like the damage has been done. And now you're just numb. Your heart has a wonderful way of mending itself, though. Your heart does that all on its own. So I think that the crying and the towers and the severe pain of it all is behind you. And I do feel that regardless of all the pain that you have suffered, your heart is still strong, and your heart still wants to love. That's pretty awesome. Regardless of the pain that you've felt, you may not be connecting with anybody, and you may be kind of feeling numb, but above and beyond all else, maybe you don't know this, but your heart is very strong. It has a way of mending itself in time. And regardless of pain it suffered, it still desires to love. Nobody can stand in your way with that kind of energy. That's kind of awesome, actually. Hey, everybody in the shadows. That's powerful. That's powerful energy. I got 56 and I got 45. dates of birth, ages, I don't know. 9/11. Some of you could have been, some of you are first responders. Damn, that's hardcore. I just got first responders. And you would have to be a very loving and strong person to be able to handle that kind of thing. If you're a first responder, if you're law enforcement, if you're military, if you're paramedic, EMT, if you're frontline in the ED, nurse, doctors, that kind of stuff in trauma, you have to have kind of a numbness, but you also have to have that perseverance to actually give a shit about helping people. I'm too empathic. I couldn't do it. I mean, I'm frontline behind the scenes, clinical laboratory scientist. I'll be the one running all the tests to make sure that the doctors in the ED can get you a diagnosis quick, fast, and in a hurry within 30-minute turnaround. But it's really cute and wonderful when those fluids come in cute little Tupperware tubes and I don't have to actually see a person injured. I know that I'm doing something, but I couldn't be there on the front lines. So thank you to those of you that are. You've seen some stuff. That's all I got to say. That's coming through pretty strong. Not everybody can do that. Okay. So again, you got to be tough and you got to be rough. You got to be tough. You got to be rough, and you still got to have a beautiful heart. It's like, you got to know when to say when. You got to know when to shift this energy. And that's not really easy to do. So what is this reading about? It's about being tough when it's absolutely necessary. And no matter how tough it's gotten, you're still loving. So no matter how much you've been beaten up or how much you've seen or how much you've gone through, you still have a willingness. Your heart still wants to move on. Your heart will go on. I feel like singing Celine Dion right now, but I'm not going to because I would just wreck that ship. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of wreck that ship, Titanic, hate it. Hate it. Why they would make a Titanic 2? I don't know. See, again, the worst is behind you. You've been through the towers. You've been through some towers. You've seen some shit. Okay? You've seen some things. But your heart, regardless, still desires love. No matter how hurt you've been, how numb you are, or how much pain you have seen, how much pain you yourself have suffered, or things you have seen yourself. Yeah. So, you're dedicated, like you're dedicated to the one I love. I know that's a song, but you're dedicated, and your heart is saying, regardless of how much abuse I have to take, regardless of how much shit I have to go through, regardless how many towers, I'm still going to go. I am still going to get love. I'm going after it. I am going to be open to love no matter what. They can kick me. They can beat me. They can cheat on me. They can do all this stuff, but they're not going to take my heart because they can't. They can't. Your heart is stronger and more resilient than your mind, I think. And even when you don't feel like you're being nurtured or supported, your heart's like, you know what? I still want love. I don't care if you cut me off, cut me out, chop me up, talk shit about me, I don't care if you disrespect me, dishonor me, devalue me. I'm still going to be loved. I'm still going after love. And you are, but you're not. And I think that you're not playing in that playground anymore of being devalued. You're very serious about commitment. You're very serious and committed to the cause. And a lot of empaths and a lot of healers, a lot of service providers A lot of first responders, they get taken advantage of. They get treated like shit because we're so used to taking it or having that numbness and accepting people to abuse us. To say, for instance, you work in pain management or trauma, you're going to hear some shit. People are going to yell at you. People are going to complain. They're going to be in pain and they're going to behave badly. You're going to deal with patients and clients that are just horrible to deal with because they themselves they're out of balance, or they're out of alignment because they're in pain, or they're suffering and they're panicking, they're freaking out. So you have to stay calm. You have to stay grounded, and you have to have that compassion and that bedside manner, but you also have to be strict and tough and kind of block the rest of that shit out. You got to know. It's a healthcare, man. Woo. And then first responders, because then you also have to deal with parents, and you have to deal with loved ones, and you have to deal with the patients and the client's family and all of that shit coming at you too. It's a lot all at once. And I don't even want to think about the military. I don't even want to think about being on the field. I don't want to think about having to deal with the chain of command and the I don't even think about that, like wartime and all of that stuff. So whomever you are, there's a serious toughness about you, but there's a soft, juicy center that will not be stopped. And you're determined. You're determined to get it. So I don't know what you do, but it's like you have to know what's acceptable. You have to know that it's not acceptable for people that you truly love and desire to be with, people you are committing yourself to. It's not okay for them to abuse you verbally. It's not okay for them to be cold and detached, because that's not a loving environment for the heart that you have. It's not okay for them to disrespect you or to devalue you or to stop communicating with you or to not support you. You should have love and support in your life. If you are a loving, supportive, dedicated person, you should have all that shit reflected back at you. Don't ever forget it. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care who you are. Just because you've accepted it before doesn't mean you need to accept it now. Let's move on to that. Somebody needed to hear this message today. I hope you get it. Okay. Again, some of you are so used to being beat up at work. I mean, maybe you're a boxer. Maybe you do get beat up at work. Like literally. But this is also, again, you have one of those jobs where it's emotionally draining, but you keep at it no matter what, no matter how depleted you are, no matter what the fuck goes down. I think I'm talking to some first responders or some military veterans or something. Cheers. Thanks for serving. Law enforcement's got to deal with this shit every day. So does healthcare. Every day. You got to do what you feel is best for the patient. And you got to do what you feel logically and rationalize. You got each and every patient, each and every client, each and every call that you get as a paramedic or a law enforcement officer. I mean, and even military, you got a lot of shit going on. You got to rationalize, and you got to think on your feet, and you got to pinch hit, and you've got to not only be a team player, you've got to understand that you're doing what you got to do to help people. I believe I'm talking to some first responders and some service providers. I'm talking dealing with people where, like, every day. It's intense. And you get wrecked by the end of the day. You're beat up by the end of the day. It's tired. Talk to a sheriff or a law enforcement officer about their day. They won't tell you. They can't tell you a lot about their day because of, HIPAA and violations. But you just ask them, how was your day? A lot of them they're just so numb from it. Yeah, it was another day. Great day in the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? We did some good shit. We did some tough stuff, but, it was today. Because they have to detach, but you become numb from it after a while. And this could be you in relationships, but I feel like this is you in job. It's like, no matter how happy you are, now this could be you in relationships where no matter how unhappy you are, you still keep working, you still keep trying. Okay? So if you're in a commitment or in a relationship, it's like no matter how much you get hurt, no matter how many times it fucks up or it goes south or how broken it is, you still keep going. But is that really what you need to do? Or is it time to press on somewhere else? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you're not being loved and supported and you're over giving to the situation, it's time to stop the insanity. It's time to stop over giving, stop nurturing and caring for people, especially in your job is one thing. Yeah, your job is one thing. That's one thing. You got that shit, okay? But when it comes to relationships, it's too much of a burden, okay? It's do not give to it. Don't go back to it. Avoid it. Stop it. Stop it. You're telling me a whole ass story here. So if it's your job, it's one thing. Your job is one thing. If you got your job, your business is good. It's like even if you're unhappy there, you're making the money. Even if you've got to it's kind of like regardless of how people treat you at work, customers are always right? You've always got to do the right thing no matter how people treat you. It's just what you got to do because the job you have. And you got that shit. You got it. You got that shit. So keep on doing what you got to do. If you want to change jobs. But I feel like you got that shit when it comes to work and life and employment. It's like you handle that. Like a boss. You are a boss. You handle that shit. It's this right here. Like I said before. When it comes to love and relationships is what I was clarifying. It's you're an overgiver and you don't get given anything in return. And it stresses you the fuck out. Because after dealing with that all day at work or whatever, you don't have loving support at home. What's up, Vic? How you doing, man? Long time no see. Actually, not that long, but hello, dear. It's like once you deal with that all day, do you really want to come home to deal with that at home too? Like you have no loving support at home. A lot of you don't even have you may not have anybody at home, but when it comes to the relationships that you're attracting or that you've got going on, it's like there's no loving support there. There's no nurturing. There's no cherishing. There's no love there. There's no growth and abundance there. Like the thrill has way gone, but it's not even the thrill. It's there's no respect. There's no support. There's no love. There's no kindness. There's no cherishing. There's no compassion. It's juiced. The juice has been squeezed. And they ain't no more juice. There's no more juice in this one. If you're with somebody, they ain't no juice in it. There's heartache and heartbreak. And it looks like either a tower moment has happened and the dust is settling on this heartbreak, or it's about to crumble. There is major fractures in that foundation. Like the tower is on its fucking side. What else is left? What else is left? Because you don't even trust this person. You can't trust this person. There's no support. Nothing is moving. It's stale. It's stagnant. It's nothing to give to because nobody's given to you. And it's more stressful than anything. You're totally unhappy here. You're not seeing the truth in the situation. Leo energy, Virgo, Libra, Taurus. It's like the burden needs to be lifted. You need to be the one to put this burden down. Yeah, like job you got. And you're determined. So maybe you're married to this person, or I think you're just so committed to love that you will accept how people treat you no matter how they treat you. That's not what love is. Nah, because you gotta love yourself first to see that this shit is bullshit right here. And that's not happiness. That's not happiness. It's not long-term happiness. It's not harmony. Perhaps this was a relationship, a marriage that failed, that did not go the distance. Perhaps this was a connection or a relationship that you fantasized about for years, or that you tried to put together or piece together for years, and it wasn't even moving. It was stagnant as fuck. It wasn't going anywhere. You may have been dealing with somebody that didn't want children and you did. Or vice versa. You know? A lot of times we fantasize about what we want. It's like the fantasy is so much better than the reality. And is that what we're dealing with here? Just because you have your shit together when it comes to work, and you have to deal with that environment, and you have to deal with punishment. You know, it's like crime and punishment. You just have to deal with the dynamic of what you have to do every day. You know, like me, I get online every day. Not everybody's going to love what I do. Not everybody in my family approves of what I do. Not everybody I date approves of what I do. Not everybody that I know approves of what I do. Not everybody that watches my content approves of what I do. I get some really nasty negative comments. Do I give a fuck? No. That's other people's opinions. It's the people that matter to me that get my attention. I still get out here and I still do what I do. I'm still determined to be a guide, to be a teacher, to be a guru. It's kind of the same thing as you. It's you're determined to love no matter what, and to share love, and to be loved, and to be loved. Okay? You should be getting that in return. All right? I get that in return because the people that truly love and appreciate me become members of my channel. They like and subscribe. They come back to hang out in my chats. They come back to watch my content. They get readings with me because they trust me. We have built that connection together over time. But this is not something that is okay. And it's become a burden, and it's become stressful, a very stressful burden. And like I said, either this is over and the dust is settling, or the foundation is so fucked up and so destroyed that I don't think you can rebuild this tower. It's too painful. It would be too painful to rebuild this tower. And sometimes we have to really look and see if what's up, Nikki? Thank you, dear. Nikki says, love your readings. Have a blessed day. You as well. Some of you could be dealing with an Aries or a Taurus. The reality here is, are we trying to control it? Are we trying to hold that tower together piece by piece? Are we so used to piecing other people back together, or holding the peace, or providing peace in the real world, that when we come home, we feel like we have to do that too? We don't have to. We should be with somebody that loves and supports us, that wants to help us learn and grow, that wants to be there to support us in a loving way, to nurture us after our day. Do they have to do everything for us? No. But are you still overgiving when you get home? Are you still trying to hold everything together at home? Are you trying to hold that tower up? Are you trying to keep the flames, keep putting out the flames? Could be a firefighter. What's up, Chief? I get this. And I know that it's getting to somebody. I know that it really makes sense. This is going to hit home to somebody. Because a lot of healthcare workers are going to totally get this. A lot of my first responders are going to get this, because then it doesn't matter what your job is, but it's not your job when you get home to hold it all together. You should have somebody trying to work with you to hold it together. You should not always have to be the glue that holds connections together or people together. When you come home, that should be your reprise. That should be your calm, your peace. That should be your tranquility. That should be your your serenity. That should be your best friend. That should be your person that you confide in, that brings you peace, that pieces you back together, that understands that you're out here, fighting for justice and like you're the Justice League. You're fighting the heroes fight out here each and every day. And you both are supposed to come together to help each other overcome these adversities. You're supposed to be against the world or helping in the world, but your world is your home, your relationship. You should be building this together. It shouldn't be that you're holding another person together or holding the relationship together when really maybe you should stand back and let it fall. Maybe it already has. Maybe you're really trying to come to terms with it. Maybe this reading helps you today because you're not getting the love and support you need, and maybe you've been trying to control it, or maybe you're with somebody who is very controlling. Maybe they want to control the dynamic of the relationship. Maybe they want to control the money. Maybe they want to control the finances. Maybe they are spending. They're out of control with their spending, and they're trying to control everything. Maybe they're very stubborn. They're difficult to deal with. You shouldn't have to try and overgive to a person that is not willing to be supportive and loving and generous. There's no generosity in this. 6 of Cups in reverse. There's no reciprocation of love in this either. There's no loving support. There's no generosity. You're dealing with somebody who is a brick fucking wall. And here you are over giving to it. So again, some of you are going through a divorce. Some of you are going through a separation. I see that you're 2 grown-ass adults. But hey, guess what? It's not up to you to hold it together. You're stressing it out, trying to hold it together and trying to piece it together, trying to sew it back together, trying to quilt it together. And this person does not want to give you what you're wanting. So some of you need stronger boundaries when it comes to love and relationships, when it comes to matters of the heart. Yeah, you are determined to have love, but at what cost? You don't fail to see this. Because we lie to ourselves. We gaslight ourselves. We avoid the truth. Okay? We avoid the truth. Perhaps maybe stop giving to this. Because people will take everything that you can give. People will take all that you can give. And then when you run out and you're depleted, it's no longer fun. You're no longer fun. Then they start seeing somebody else. Or you're not on the same page and you can't get along. It's no longer fun. It's no longer enjoyable. So perhaps this isn't the best connection for you. It doesn't look like there's any reciprocation. Not in the 3D. Not in the cups. Not even friendship. What is this? Is this on again, off again, in and out, battles of wills, Turbulence. Is this friends with benefits? Is this somebody who played you? Or are you playing yourself? And is this something that you need to stop giving to? Stop putting your energy into and really start fighting yourself. Fight yourself. A lot of you have been gaslit. A lot of you have been manipulated and lied to. And a lot of you are doing it to yourselves because of how you show up in the world. You're a friggin' hero. You get shit done. Okay, cool. But you're dealing with a situation that's not, everything is in the reverse here, except, nope. Oh yes, the 5 of Swords and the 8 of Swords. Maybe it's time to think about this. And maybe it's really time to stop avoiding, it's like you're avoiding making a decision. You're avoiding making a choice. Some of you may be afraid to hurt somebody's feelings. Okay? Because you're a caregiver. You're a fucking hero out here in the world. Did they care about hurting your heart? So what do you need to do to protect yourself from this person or this situation? You need to be your own hero here. I think I need to write a second book. Oh, Please Be Your Own Hero is the book that I wrote to help you manifest. But it's like a self-help and manifesting guide. It tells you what you do that gets you in your own way. But I think we need to go a step further and talk about stuff like this. This is really intense, but somebody needed to hear this message today, and I love you, and I'm going to bring you these messages, I got fire, I've got air, I've got water, I've got earth, I've got Scorpio strong, Taurus strong, I've got Virgo, Libra, Taurus strong, I've got Leo strong. Everybody's out here. The thing is regardless of how you show up in the world, I know you're dedicated to love. But whatever this is that you've been dealing with that has hurt your heart so much and that has brought you down. I mean, this could have been a divorce, a separation, a breakup. But I don't think this was a match to begin with. I mean, it could have been at some point, but it really looks like it wasn't. It looks like you have a tendency to overgive and try and hold. You have a history of overgiving and holding shit together that really doesn't need to be held together. That's what I got for you. You know what I'm saying? And let's see what the universe has for you as final messages of advice. Man holding a heart, woman holding, whoever you are, this needs to change. Okay, you could still be loving and amazing, but really, you need to balance your emotions and really take a look at this and see what you need to do, and really, it's you've got to see this clearly, because you're giving 4 and they're giving 1. Which is creating a 5. So you're creating the stability and holding it all together and trying to keep it correct in a relationship. You're trying to hold up all 4 walls. They're holding up 1. Whatever that 1 is that they're giving, it's actually creating a problem because they're not helping you hold it all up. They're adding something to it, but they're not helping you solidify and strengthen and stabilize. They're creating more chaos than anything, but you're allowing it. Healer of the ages, this is what needs to change. This is what needs to be healed, and you're the only one that can see this. It is chaos, 555. Something needs to change, okay? For your stability, for your forward focus, stability. It really needs to be about stability and 2 people in a relationship helping each other. You need 2 heroes on a hero's journey, okay? You don't need a fuck up and a hero, because the hero is going to be too busy trying to clean up the mess of the fuck up, and you're not able to move forward on the hero's journey. It's like, I'm not saying this person's a fuck up. I'm just saying that you're trying to hold the shit together. The ship is falling apart. It is already falling apart. Either jump on your own ship and watch that ship go down, because this person is apparently on their own. They're on their own ship. The relationship it's just disintegrating. It's disintegrating. Okay, and I know you care about this person, and that's okay, but it's again another 5, 1 and 4. You care about this person. You want a new beginning. You want to stabilize this. You want this to be something that grows. You can't get that unless you have somebody willing to cooperate with you. So you can have victory here when it comes to relationships, but I feel like you are the one that's got to move on and put it behind you. You got to see what needs to happen here. It's like, okay, there, rest and rejuvenation. That's what you need right now. You need to heal this, and you need to look at this and see what you do in relationships that keeps you keeps you doing this in relationships. You know, before it gets to this level in relationships to where you're having to heal so deeply, you know, and this is going to take some time and some patience, okay? But you will work on it. I know you will. And here's the deal. This is going to take some patience to work through or to work out for yourself. But before you get to the point where you're having to re-heal and heal from deep wounds because of a connection like this, see your patterns. Rest, recover, and heal. And in this rest and recovery, feel yourself through this one. What do I do in this connection or other connections that makes me keep persevering and pushing and trying and holding on and trying to quilt it together, piece it together when it's disintegrating right before my very fucking eyes? Why do I do that? Why can't I just let go? Why can't I see that it's not chaos happening for me? It's not chaos unless we feel it's chaos and pain. Instead, it's redirection. It's redirection. And it's the universe trying to change things for us. We got to be able to see this kind of thing, though. It's kind of like you have another wish coming in. This is coming to an end. With endings come new beginnings. And a lot of us don't want to hear that. We don't want to even think about it. But here's the deal. How long have you been dealing with this heartache and pain, watching this tower disintegrate, watching this relationship fall apart, trying to hold it together? How many years? How many months? How many weeks? That hit home for a lot of you. So in the meantime, instead of seeing it as, oh shit, well maybe this is the tower that needs to fall. If this person isn't willing to work with me to improve this, then I need to be hands off and I need to watch this tower burn. As a firefighter, I would think you would need to know how to analyze a building and know when to back the fuck up, right? When to hands off and let somebody start breathing on their own or whatever, or if they say, hey, get your hands off of me as a police officer, you got to know when to do that shit, right? You got to know when to back the fuck up and hands off, right? Healthcare, hands off if you're using the AED. You know what I'm saying? Don't electrocute anybody or yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just hands off. You got to know when to back off. The relationships are no different. Think about it. Put it into terms as what you do in a community or what you do in your job, you know, and then kind of look at relationships like that and be like, damn, I should know better than this. I should know when to hands off. I should know when not to touch this or when to leave this alone. Why do I do that? You work yourself through that, and I guarantee you will be more at peace, because it's when you come into alignment and understanding within your own emotions, and you're like, damn, you will forgive yourself and you will forgive other people. Okay? At some point, we all have a core desire in relationship. I may want something that you do not want. And the universe's job is to mix and mingle us and match us up depending on our desires, our fears, whatever our vibrations are vibrating out the most. And it's a beautiful dance. But when you recognize when the universe is trying to disintegrate something slowly over time, or when it blows something up, or when the tower has already fallen, instead of seeing it as heartache, see it as a badge of courage that you're so determined to love that you won't give up no matter what. But start seeing it from a different perspective. I will see heartache and pain. I will see breakups and relationship towers differently from now on. I can't hold it all together. It's not just my glue that holds a relationship together. It's got to be somebody else's too. And if they have run out of glue, or if they're tired, or if they've run out of glue, or if they no longer want to share their glue with you, they're not providing the glue, you can't create that beautiful collage that is a long-term relationship with somebody if they're not willing to provide glue to help you put it all together. If you're the one creating it all by yourself, then you would save yourself a lot of hassle and a fucking lot of heartache and a lot of pain if you were on your own. Maybe you could put a better collage together. Maybe you could travel the world and see Italy and France and America. You know, you could see the world with that collage of your life, instead of dealing with all the pain and suffering, trying to hold these relationships together. Redirection is your protection, but a lot of you are protecting yourself or trying to hold something together so tightly that you're not seeing that it is truly you trying to hold all the pieces together without anybody else's assistance. How tired are you? I'm tired from reading this. I love you all. Be at peace, rest, and recover right now. And really, truly think about this and meditate on this. You could change your own mind and your own mindset very quickly. And that could bring peace to your heart immediately. It could change your life drastically. Them's the words, them's the message. That's what I got for you today. Like, share, subscribe, join the tribe. Until next time, y'all know I love you. Namaste. J-Dub, what's up? I love you.